So as you can see, I have the painting mounted on the wall. I know you can't see it right now because it's the pencil sketch is way too light to pick it up at that distance, but believe me, it is there. You'll see it as it comes together. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to tone the canvas, and what I use is a combination of yellow ochre and burnt sienna. I make a nice gold and tan color. I'm using an old sock to spread it with, and what I do is I thin it down with turpenoid, which is essentially odorless turpentine, and I'm just going to do big old swaths. I'm going to cover the whole canvas with this color. It covers up the white, it makes it easier to paint, and it just gives it an overall tone which it kind of comes back through the paint, and it kind of helps tie the whole thing together. You can see I've already started mixing it. Want it to be nice and more yellow than or more darker than the yellow ochre, but not as dark as this is raw burnt sienna right here. And let me show you the yellow ochre a little bit more of that. So it's actually kind of an ugly yellow, but mixed together with the burnt sienna, it gives it kind of a nice rich tan color. It's a warm tan. And then I just take the old sock. Probably actually going to have mixed more for the size of this painting. This painting is 28 square feet. I've probably mixed enough for a painting that's maybe 12 square feet, but I'm going to get going on it right now, and you can have an idea of what I'm doing. So like I said, then I just take the old sock, I dip it in this turpenoid, this jar of turpenoid I have here, get it wet, and then I just dip it in my mixture of yellow ochre and burnt sienna, get it on the sock, and then I just use a circular motion. And covers it. And I have to be careful also. I have to do around the edges because I'm going to be painting around the edges of this painting. And it looks like I'm painting my wall a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about that. I can always clean that off. So I'm just finishing up right now. I've got the whole thing canvas toned. I just want to cover everything. This area up here is going to be sky, so I don't want to cover it make it too dark. But what you're going to see now is I'm going to go back over in some of the areas. I'm going to make darker. Like there's a big oak tree here, another stand of trees here, and I'm just going to darken some of the horses also. Helps you to cover it up a lot easier later on while you're painting it. Not a whole lot darker, just a little. Just kind of helps guide you a little bit. Okay, now as you can see, I've kind of gone back over the toning with a little bit darker color, and you can actually see the figures of the horses. Like I say, there's a big oak tree over here. This is going to be lost in the fog here. Barbaro, he's a little bit further back. Secretariat, got to have Secretariat as the star in the middle. Seabiscuit and Zenyatta over here. And this is another stand of trees. There's going to be some distant mountains, hills over here that I probably could have put a little bit darker color. There's like a lake down in this area. Another little stand of trees in the background here. They're going to have a nice strong cloud formation here just to kind of complete it all. And I'm going to be doing step by step, showing you a little bit at a time what I'm doing. I'm not going to be filming while I'm painting. I just film will be like hours long if we do something like that. So what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to mix up a sky color I'm using cerulean blue and white. And so I'm just using a little bit of blue, adding it to the cerulean blue, adding it to a lot of white. Getting a nice light sky blue color. That's about the right color I'm going for right now, but it's not near enough in volume. One of the biggest problems with painting a painting this size is you got a lot of canvas to cover. It's going to take a lot of paint to do it. And I almost always never squeeze out enough paint. I have this nice big pool of light blue paint. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of, it's a medium that I use. I use it to thin down the paint so it glides on quicker, smoother, dries quicker. It's 1/3 linseed oil, 10% Damar varnish, and the rest is odorless turpentine. And this will go on and cover a lot of area very quickly when it's this thin. So what I'm going to be using is just a nice big bristle brush for now. And I just want to cover some area. And I can tell right away I'm not going to have near enough paint, but I can always make some more. I want this nice area up here to be clear of clouds except for maybe a couple little wisps. And then I just put the color where I'm going to be using it. And I'll get back to you after I get some of this laid down. Okay, now you can see that I've got some air holes in the trees there, up there. I've covered up the blue sky where I want it to be, more over there. And if you look down right along where the horses' necks are, you can see kind of a really light pale line of paint. I put that in there. That section in between the blue and the real light is all going to be clouds. This video is going to be way long if I continue to do this. So what I'm going to be doing is just taking short snapshots of my progress. Occasionally I'll come in and talk, and you'll be able to see the thing get built.